Hey guys, welcome to the Tradie Success Podcast. I'm here with Brett and Lauren Eccleston. Super excited to have you on the show.
Thanks, Greg. Good to be here, mate.
Yeah, so you've had a big day with us today at the Academy.
Huge day.
Big day of planning. So we thought this would be a great opportunity just to run through a reflection session over the previous year and maybe talk about some of the moves that are coming up next year and how we deconstructed, from the vision and backwards from there. So how about last year for you in business? So we caught up not long ago and talked through your trip, but what are some of the big key takeaways from the year that was?
So we've had a sort of a up and down year this year with staff-wise. We've had 6 guys working for us and we're back down to 4, so we've been dealt a few little hiccups along the way, but we also took another holiday in October this year, family holiday for the first time. Our daughter's 7, I think it's the first time she's been away. So
awesome.
It's been a very good, positive year for us this year.
Yeah.
Leading into next year, we've come up here today to talk to you guys and develop a roadmap and a strategy of what we're trying to achieve. And after coming out of today, mate, I'll tell you what, I'm very excited of where things are heading.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was in there talking to the team. I was like, I'm excited.
No, mate, we've covered a lot today, and it's good to be able to walk away from here with a clear strategy, what we need to achieve, and some goals for us to reach those achievements.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So you went on a family holiday 2 years ago. Do you think that was going to be possible to go, out of the country and have the business?
No, never, mate.
No.
Never.
Yeah.
No, I was very, before joining TSA, the business was all about me. The business couldn't operate without me. And we've flipped that mindset on its head. So not only did we go away for 10 days, or did I go away for 10 days in Kokoda, in April, we had a family holiday that we haven't ever done since Lyle's been born, and mate, it was a good little trip away, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how's that for you, Lauren? Like, what do you think over the last year, before, let's just say 2 years ago, how's the business changed and how's that affected the family, the holiday? Obviously these are big things that weren't able to be done before.
Definitely. I think, there's obviously been a lot of change, and, even just me coming in to work in the business now as well. So it wasn't just Brett being away for the week trip and still having someone here as backup. Like when you did Kokoda, the phone was still coming through to me. That was it, both of us were out of the business.
Yeah.
Definitely couldn't have been done
Yeah.
before when it was. Yeah.
So what broke while you're away? Because there's always something.
No, I don't think it did this time.
Oh my God.
I think we've mastered the art. I feel like I don't want to be too confident, like touch wood, but I think we've mastered the art now of,
The boys had it all under control.
It's so good.
They even fed the dogs while we were away, so it was good.
Yeah.
Because coming back from Kokoda, there was some issues, right?
Yeah, coming back from Kokoda, there was some issues, probably more on my end as well.
Yep.
I could have been better prepared and had the team better prepared. So this time when we went away, I made sure the mistakes that I made were fixed before we went.
There we go.
And mate, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, real good.
And that's the power of strategic holidays, like if you set it in, you've got to go away, you've got to try and do your best, like set the business up the best you can by the time you go away. And then when you get back, something's broken and you just make sure you build systems around that for the next trip, and you've demonstrated how that can work. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I even think putting a time frame on it. And as we've done today, we've put time frames on our goals to when to reach our goals for next year. It just makes us work really hard, and we've got that time frame now to, all right, we've got to get this done before we get to here.
Yeah.
So you can be held accountable.
Yeah. And you can apply that yourself, like those self-accountability, or to each other at least. And then you say, this is what we're going to do by this time. And you work backwards from there, is what we did today.
Yeah.
And do you see, we did have that 5-year goal, and by squeezing that into 2, it's like, oh my God, like, everything has to change.
We're going to have to hustle.
Yeah. Well, it takes the pressure off, and even if it does take a year later, you're still 2 years before 5 years,
100%.
So, and if you can get to that point and then choose not to go or, not do that thing, then
I think it's just, our roadmap here is just going to free up some time for us to be able to do the things we want to do. If we want to continue down path A, well then we can, or if we want to go to path B, well then, we've got the flexibility to do so.
Yeah. And what do you think's like different in making a plan like you've done today versus how you've done it in the past?
I just would have would never have been a plan probably. I just would have. I would have
just
liked.
Hopefully one day it'll be better.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just ideas
I'll
in your
do that
head.
next week. Yeah, so I've always been a goal-driven guy, but to get to that goal has never been clear. You know, so I'm going to do this, but how do I get there? But now, like, I've got a goal. We've got a goal, and we know what the steps we've got to take to get there.
Yeah. What are some of the big takeaways from like all of today? Like, what are some things that you're like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that before?
Yeah, it's probably made us realise the things that we need to improve. Like, I think in the back of your mind, you know where you need to improve, but to have that spoken to you, you go, oh yeah, actually yes, we do need to fix that. You know, if it wasn't pointed out to us, then you probably it'll just stay there in the back. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. But to have it pointed out to you and verbally told to you, well then, yeah, once again, it's that accountability thing where we need to make it happen.
Yeah. And Lauren, you were saying that at the moment you're cleaning up a lot of admin. Thanks, Brett.
No, my pleasure.
So coming into the business, she's like, we've got to clean up all this admin. It's an absolute mess. But you don't like doing admin. You don't want to keep doing it. So today we set the plan to make sure that happens. We get someone to take over that role sooner. Do you feel, what we've done today has been helpful for you in that sense?
Definitely. I think that, knowing that I can have someone or invest in the right people to take over the sections of running a business that I don't particularly enjoy, it will help me to focus on what really needs to be done, but also what I enjoy. So it's, it's exciting.
Awesome. We also talked about the importance of hiring people who are skilled in the role rather than, because there's a lot of fears, if I hire this person, I'm going to have to sit there and train them. I don't have the time to train them.
Yeah.
So how is that as a mindset shift today for you?
Well, that's probably been a big mindset shift today for us because, we think, I've got to put this person on, I'm going to have to train them. Whereas if we find someone who's better at it than what we actually are, well, then they might actually be helping us. So, then we might just have to fine tune a few little things. But to get out of that mindset of, if I put someone on or an admin on or an ops manager on, I'm going to have to train them for 6 months. That's probably the wrong attitude to have. Yeah. The attitude is to get these guys on. They know what they're doing. They're only going to benefit your business.
Yeah.
And I think the mindset switch of investing in people who aren't billable, they're not a billable resource, they're not a tradesman, they're not an apprentice, but we're still investing, that money into that section of the business. Whereas before we sort of always would have looked at that as billable resources are a priority, not someone that's not billable.
Yeah, so you saw it as a cost before.
Yeah.
So an admin is a cost, when actually even though it's non-billable, it's actually an asset to you as a family. Yeah. Because this non-billable admin creates more time for you and it allows you to not be so stressed and overwhelmed with the load. Because as a business owner, you're wearing so many of the different hats, right? And you're sitting in so many different roles. And as you're going across to the different roles, it just fills out your day. And you never are not busy as a business owner. You'll always fill your day with something. And so by putting someone in there, they take that responsibility off of you, and that allows you to have that flexibility, which is one of the core goals that we had by the end of next year, is 100% flexibility.
Yeah.
Cool. And how's that, thinking of it that way changed the way that you think you're going to invest in the business moving forward?
Well, it's sort of, I sort of think of it now as what we want to do can actually be achievable. Whereas before I was never really confident that, I could never do it myself. So by putting people in these positions and spending time and money on these people in these positions, it's only going to benefit us in the long run.
Yeah.
We're building our capacity.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And I think too many people look at it purely on financial. Yeah. But then if you look at it, every person that you put on is not only going to come with some level of maximization of finances. So whether it's faster invoicing, or it might be better scheduling, or someone's overseeing it better, so it's more efficiency. Or it's, you're putting a tradesperson on that has more capacity, so you can make more billable hours in the job. But that's financial, right? But there's also an element of personal performance that you're able to have more flexibility to focus on, more sleep, quality sleep, nutrition, exercise, mindset, and your relationships, which helps you be, more effective as a leader, and a team as well.
Yep.
So people need to start thinking like that, I think.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, is just having faith in people too, I guess, and the process that you got in place to find the perfect person. So it'll be a change for us, but it'll be a welcome change.
Yeah, cool. All right, so how's the holiday? What was it like? Must have been a bit weird.
It was
being on
all right.
holiday for the first time with the kids.
Oh yeah, the kids drove us a bit wild, but
It was,
it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good just to get away with as a family for the first time. We didn't really probably do much of that when we were younger, so to give our kids the opportunity to be able to see the world at 7 and 4. I don't think I first jumped on a plane until I was probably 20 something. So they're a long way ahead of where I was. So it was good.
Yeah, no, it was a good trip. I think, we might wait until they're a little bit older and more confident in the water. We don't have, being from the country, we don't have big water kids, So sitting around the pool watching them in Fiji, it was a bit like you had to really watch them like a hawk. So maybe somewhere without water next time, so that we can relax a little bit more. Or unless they're better swimmers by then, which we need to get them into some swimming lessons. But no, other than that, it was good.
Cool. Did you try out kids club?
Tried, but our daughter didn't like leaving us.
When they're a little bit older, maybe.
I think we were just that couple years too early. But
that's right. The time will come.
It will.
And
it fits in with our plan.
It fits in with the plan.
Perfect. I didn't notice that. Even more inspiration now to get done in a couple of years.
Cool. Any final words for people in terms of like getting ready for 2024? From what you've been learning, like what could they do to help their business?
I would think just sit down and set goals. I'm a big believer in goals. Like when I was younger, I played a lot of sport and always set personal goals with sport and all that kind of stuff, and it just gives you something to strive for. And once you reach that goal, then too, it gives you a bit of sense of purpose. And so I'm a big goal believer. So we've set a couple of goals there on the board. So now we've got a point of where we need to get to and a time frame of when to get there. It's going to make us work for it.
Cool.
I think as well, not putting things off until the new year. Like I know we're sort of, getting close to Christmas, but instead of saying, we'll wait until next year to put a job ad up, it's like, well, no, we'll just do it tomorrow. And it really doesn't matter. Like I feel like Christmas is this massive block in a lot of people's minds that, things just have to completely shut down. But things can be sort of ticking along in the background.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the job ads, right? Like you put a job ad up, doesn't mean you have to hire them.
Yeah.
But if the right person comes along, then you can make, I've got to make it work because this person's the right person. But if we waited, we might have missed that opportunity. So Tradies Family launched just recently. Lauren, you've been on the podcast, the Tradies Family podcast, anyone that's listening in. How important is that, do you think, for families of trade people like in business? How's that resonated with you so far?
I think it's really important. I think for partners of tradies who don't work in the business, it's a really good way for them to understand, what their partner might be going through, or why they might not be communicating in the way that they sort of expect. And then for partners that do work in the business or are questioning whether they should work in the business or whether they should leave another job to work in the business, it's going to be a good tool for that as well. Because I think there'll be a good balance of both. It's going to work. If you don't work within the business, great. It's still going to be a fabulous tool.
I just remember, I remember back when I was holding all of the stress, like I didn't know how to communicate very well, which is like the first pillar of Tradie Family, but I didn't know how to communicate because I just wanted to show that I could support the family and sort of like the way my dad sort of did, like all day man supports a woman, but that's, I just had to get it done, and no matter what, I'll just work harder and try and do it, but it would come on on me, and when I saw her struggling, I didn't want to put any more load or pressure on her with the babies, so that was like, whoa. Once we understood that and figured that out, it was a real relief. So we're really proud of the initiative and can't wait to support more families.
I think it'll be really good.
Yeah, cool. Anyone wants to know more about that, Tradies Family podcast, go check it out and subscribe. And we've got a course coming next year, which is going to be cool for people to sign up to, and I'll go over the 5 pillars. So it's going to be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, mate. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
We're going to head out for some dinner tonight as a couple. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
All right. All the best.
Fabulous.
See you guys.
Thank you.